Most folks, even the well-traveled, couldn't point to Eritrea on a map. It sits on the Horn of Africa, a place with a history as rugged as its landscape, a history of struggle and resilience. It's a country that's been through the ringer, shaped by conflict and isolation, but still standing, fiercely independent. This ain't your typical tourist trap, folks. This is Eritrea, raw and unfiltered, a place where you can feel the pulse of life in its purest form. Eritrea's story isn't for the faint of heart. Centuries of battling for control, first against the Ottoman Empire, then the Italians, and finally a 30-year war for independence from Ethiopia. This ain't ancient history, folks. This is living memory. You can see it in the eyes of the older generation, the ones who sacrificed everything for their freedom. It's etched into the very soul of this nation. This struggle birthed a people with an unshakable spirit, a deep-rooted sense of pride and identity. They're not defined by their past, but it's impossible to understand Eritrea without acknowledging the scars it left behind. Eritrea ain't a melting pot. It's more like a mosaic, each piece distinct yet fitting perfectly together. 9 different ethnic groups call this place home, each with their own language, traditions, and stories to tell. From the Afar nomads roaming the Danakil Depression to the Tigra farmers tending their land in the highlands, there's a beautiful tapestry of humanity here. You can hear it in the music, taste it in the food, see it in the way they welcome you into their homes. It's a reminder that diversity ain't just about tolerance. It's about the richness and beauty that comes from embracing our differences. Forget your all-inclusive resorts and pre-packaged tours. Eritrea ain't that kind of place. This is for the adventurous, the curious, the ones who want to experience something real, something untouched. Imagine diving in the Red Sea, surrounded by pristine coral reefs, or trekking through the rugged mountains, the air thin and crisp. Picture yourself sipping strong coffee in a local cafe, listening to the murmur of Tigrinya conversations, or bartering for spices in a bustling market, the air thick with the scent of incense and berbere. This is Eritrea, a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Eritrea's landscape is a testament to the raw power of nature. From the scorching heat of the Danakil Depression, one of the lowest and hottest places on Earth, to the cool, misty highlands where coffee grows wild, it's a country of stark contrasts. You can find yourself trekking through dense forests one day and gazing out at endless salt flats the next. This land has been shaped by volcanic eruptions, carved by ancient rivers, and sculpted by the relentless desert wind. It's a place of breathtaking beauty, both harsh and unforgiving, yet somehow still teeming with life. If you're lucky enough to find yourself in Eritrea, there are a few things you just can't miss. Start in Asmara, the capital city, a time capsule of Italian modernist architecture, frozen in time. Wander its wide boulevards, sip espresso in Art Deco cafes, and imagine you've been transported back to the 1930s. Then head to the ancient city of Kohaito, with its ruins whispering tales of a long-lost civilization. And don't even think about leaving without experiencing the Dalek Archipelago, a scattering of islands in the Red Sea where you can swim with whale sharks and dive among untouched coral reefs. In Eritrea, tradition runs deep, a thread connecting generations past and present. Coffee ceremonies, elaborate affairs involving roasting green coffee beans and brewing strong, aromatic coffee, are a daily ritual, a time for connection and conversation. Weddings are vibrant celebrations, filled with music, dancing, and enough food to feed a small army. And in a world obsessed with the individual, Eritreans still value community above all else, coming together to help their neighbors, celebrate their joys, and share their sorrows. Eritrea's economy is a work in progress, slowly rebuilding after years of conflict and isolation. Mining, particularly of gold and copper, is a major source of revenue, but the government is also investing in agriculture, fisheries, and tourism, hoping to diversify and create a more sustainable future. It's a tough road ahead, no doubt, but the Eritrean people are known for their resilience and determination. They've overcome incredible odds before, and they're not about to give up now. Eritrean food is a feast for the senses, a vibrant fusion of flavors and textures. Injera, a spongy sourdough flatbread, is the staple, used to scoop up spicy stews, lentil dishes, and flavorful meat platters. Berbere, a complex blend of spices, adds a fiery kick to almost every dish, while the use of fresh herbs and vegetables adds a welcome brightness. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, folks. This is food meant to be shared, enjoyed with friends and family, a true taste of Eritrean hospitality. Education is highly valued in Eritrea, seen as the key to progress and development. The literacy rate has been steadily increasing, and the government has made significant investments in building schools and training teachers, particularly in rural areas. Despite the challenges, there's a thirst for knowledge here, a belief that education can empower individuals and lift up the nation. Eritrea's education system is a blend of traditional and modern approaches. While there's a strong emphasis on core subjects like math, science, and language, there's also a focus on practical skills and vocational training, preparing students for the workforce. Education is seen as a collective responsibility, with communities often coming together to support schools and ensure that all children have access to learning. Eritrean women played a pivotal role in the country's struggle for independence, fighting alongside men on the front lines. Today, they continue to be a powerful force in Eritrean society, taking on leadership roles in government, business, and their communities. While challenges remain in terms of gender equality, Eritrean women are known for their resilience, determination, and unwavering spirit. They are the backbone of this nation, raising families, running businesses, and working tirelessly to build a better future for themselves and their children. Eritrea's healthcare system faces significant challenges, from a lack of resources to a shortage of trained medical professionals. The government has made improving healthcare a priority, focusing on expanding access to basic services, particularly in rural areas. Despite the obstacles, there's a spirit of innovation and a commitment to providing quality care. Doctors and nurses work tirelessly, often in difficult conditions, to serve their communities, driven by a deep sense of duty and compassion. Eritrea's political system is complex, shaped by its history of struggle and its desire for self-reliance. The country has been a one-party state since independence, and while there have been criticisms from international observers, it's important to remember that Eritrea's political landscape is unique and cannot be judged solely through a Western lens. The government argues that its focus on national unity and self-sufficiency is essential for Eritrea's development, particularly given its history of conflict and isolation. Eritrea is cautiously opening up to foreign investment, seeking partnerships that will benefit its economy without compromising its independence. The mining sector has attracted significant interest, but the government is also keen to attract investment in renewable energy, infrastructure, and tourism. It's a delicate balance, navigating the complexities of the global economy while staying true to Eritrea's values of self-reliance and sustainable development. Eritrea's strategic location on the Red Sea, a vital shipping lane, has long made it a place of geopolitical importance. The presence of military bases, both foreign and domestic, is a reminder of the country's complex history and its ongoing security concerns. While the government maintains that its military presence is purely defensive, it's impossible to ignore the geopolitical implications of Eritrea's location in this volatile region. Leaving Eritrea, you can't help but feel like you've experienced something truly special. This ain't a place that reveals its secrets easily. You gotta work for it. You gotta earn it. But once you've tasted the strong coffee, felt the rhythm of the music, and looked into the eyes of the people, you'll understand. Eritrea gets under your skin. It stays with you long after you've left. It's a reminder that there are still places in this world untouched by the homogenizing forces of globalization, places where authenticity and tradition still reign supreme.